I started sailing as a kid from my sailing club on the East Coast, which is Dabchicks. It was a family sport that my parents actually met through. I absolutely hated it at first, kicking and screaming, lots of crying, but sort of my parents kind of persevered, and obviously it's something that I've grown to love and has been my career. Really lucky that it's been my career. Growing up at the yacht club and sailing club is like where all my fond memories from my childhood are. It's a really great community down there, and when I go home now back to Essex, it's where all my friends are, where we all hang out. Everyone's sort of sailing on a Saturday, and the classic debrief in the clubhouse afterwards. The Olympics was always a childhood dream, not necessarily winning it, but just sort of getting there and competing in it. I remember watching the Olympics when I was about 12, the Barcelona Olympics, and thinking how amazing it was. And then you start doing it. My first Olympics didn't go so well, so I was in a team with a load of gold medalists, and I wanted to, I really looked up to them, aspired to win a gold medal myself, and so you start competing, you start getting better. It's pretty addictive really, and then ultimately the whole sort of thing becomes about winning your own gold medal. I've had several low points, I'd say, mostly around injury, because that's pretty gutting. You just have to take a step back and you can't really rush coming back. You have to listen to all the experts and just take your time. And you feel that everyone around you, like your competitors, are moving forwards and getting better than you, and you might never make it back to beat them. So definitely getting through those has been tough, but ultimately I sort of made it through them all and sort of managed to get back on the race course. I wouldn't say that we have any special routines, but we definitely have a routine. It's a really important part of performance is having a routine and roles in your team, so you know that jobs are done and ticked off, so you don't have any nasty surprises when you turn up without your food and drink, for example, on the start line, or just sort of basic things like that. And they just help get your mind, in the right frame for racing. They sort of start preparing you mentally. So with competing at the Olympics and doing the whole world tour, you end up travelling quite a lot. Sometimes it gets a bit tiresome, living out of a bag the whole time and in a hotel room. But I think you just sort of reframe it and look at the other way around, that I'm so lucky to have done my childhood dream as a career, and I've been to some amazing places in the world, to Australia, to Rio. Rio is absolutely stunning, and around Europe as well, lots of beautiful places. Obviously at the Olympics, it's our pinnacle event in sailing, in dinghy sailing, and a lot of pressure comes on. And Hannah and I put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I guess, going to Rio, because we were kind of only there to win one thing. And actually, it was just something, I think quite early on, we initially really thrived under having that pressure. We loved racing together, and it really brought out the best in us. But definitely some advice for people is just have those routines and those roles in your boat. Know whose responsibility is what, because when you do those nerves start getting, and if you start having a bit of doubt in your head and you're sort of talking to yourself, if you know what your roles and your responsibilities are at any given point on the race course, you can just focus in on that, get that bit done, and then it's sort of, normally as soon as you start racing, the sort of nerves and pressure start to go and you can start to perform. So I'm taking a bit of a step back from 470 sailing and Olympic sailing, and looking forward to just sort of exploring the sailing world really, because I've been quite blinkered in what I've been doing over the last 10 years in a 470. So I'm really looking forward to trying out a moth and getting foiling. I sort of understand from watching lots of friends go through that learning process. It's pretty brutal, lots of high-speed wipeouts around the front, lots of bruises. So I have to give that a go. Hannah and I actually already did some team racing. We went to New York and did a team racing event, which was fantastic, a totally different discipline of sailing to fleet racing, what I'm used to. And chaotic, hectic, lots of rules, lots of shouting, but really good fun. And actually just generally sort of get involved with the sort of whole sailing community this next year, find out what bits I've missed out on the last sort of 15 years doing Olympic stuff, and see what I like doing. life on the campaign trail is quite busy, so when you sort of got some time off, it's generally just want to hang out a little bit at home and catch up with friends and family. Now I'm off that trail, I sort of need to pick up some old hobbies again, so I think that will definitely be filled in with getting back into some windsurfing, some mountain biking, which we were banned from doing because we were athletes, and maybe trying to learn some moth sailing. Next on my bucket list it's probably a little bit simple, but I can't wait to go on a skiing holiday this winter, having been banned from skiing for about 12 years. And done it as a kid. I can't wait. Definitely for the immediate future, that's it for good for me, but life is an adventure, so I would never say never, and if I end up back in that environment, or if I feel there's a really cool opportunity to go back Olympic sailing, I definitely would consider it, give it some proper consideration. It was great to meet with VRSport and sort of listen and hear their vision for what they want to achieve on the media side with water sports and with sailing. Firstly, it's really important at VRSport that we're all sailors. We all love sailing, we're really passionate about it, and we've all sort of grown up sailing and just think it's an awesome sport. And we basically just want to share that with a wider audience. And we're interested in covering everything from grassroots, Optimus stuff, up to the AC. And I think it's a really exciting time. I think sailing needs to up its game, which it definitely has been doing the last few years, and it's just all about creating that stunning footage to get our sport out there, share it with a wider audience, and just enjoy it all together.
Epic.
Pretty mad.
Full on.
Exhilarating. Intense.
Scary.
I've got to